Right now at 5, winter weather preparation time arrives with the falling leaves. KDOT encouraging drivers to stock vehicles with full gas tanks, blankets, and emergency supplies. No winter weather for us today, though it certainly starts to feel like it. It's cold out there. Clouds increasing, rain chances increasing. Look at your forecast coming up. Plus 16 years of serving Thanksgiving dinner to those in need. A Miami, Oklahoma church feeds around 300 people with smoked turkey and mashed potatoes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Chris Warner. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. You got full, you spent time with family, friends, and all of that good stuff. And now it's time to walk some of that off. We've got Black Friday, of course, this morning. Now, about 10 minutes ago, our camera at 7th and Rangeline were like, no cars. And now everybody's starting to roll out. Stores are opening, some of them opening now. We're going to have more on the Black Friday shopping a little later in the show. But first, let's get your Black Friday started with a look outside from downtown Pittsburgh. Right now, it's quiet. We all know it's shopping day. It's not going to stay quiet for too much longer. Our camera 7th and Rangeline. Again, now right now you're like, I don't see a bunch of cars out there. There have been more cars this morning and just a few minutes ago than there typically is at this time on a Friday morning. KDOT camera 69 and US 400 still on 171 looking back to the southwest, kind of empty for the morning. And MoDOT cameras around the metro area. This is what I'm talking about. There's not a lot yet. I get it. But we're starting to see a lot more vehicles out at this hour than what we usually do, so be prepared. That wasn't supposed to do that. I don't know why that did that. Well, anyway, we've had some patchy fog this morning. Now, this is what we talk about with rapidly changing visibilities as well. Miami, you're 8 miles about visibility. About 15 minutes ago, you were down to 2, and then you were prior to that at 8, and prior to that you were at 3. So I don't know if it could be a reporting station error, but we have been seeing at least it show up on the fog tracker down there into Ottawa County. Our temperatures this morning, again cold, 34, both Joplin and in Pittsburgh and across the region. Chilly start, but at least for right now, the winds are calm. That's going to change as well. We've got low mid-30s, so most of us are actually pretty close to average. Independence looks to be the cold spot at 30 degrees. Future track, again, will show those clouds as they continue to increase across the area. And once we get past, I'd say 6 o'clock, we'll start to see at least opportunities for some isolated showers out there. It will be later tonight into tomorrow that those rain chances will increase a bit. All right, mid-30s by 9 a.m., upper 40s by noon. We're looking at highs in the low to mid-50s across the region. And then those shower chances begin working in later this evening into the overnight, bringing us a lot of rain as we roll into our Saturday. Details on all of that, plus what we're looking at for Monday in just a few more minutes. In this morning's top stories, a former Goodman police chief and McDonald County Sheriff's deputy are charged with stealing bowls. Prosecutors filed 2 felony charges against Samuel Townsend. According to court documents, on October 13th, he allegedly stole 2 registered Black Angus bulls and took them to the Joplin stockyard and sold them for more than $5,000. Authorities say after learning about the investigation, he contacted the Joplin stockyards asking them to stop payment and change the name on the payment check. He's scheduled to make an initial appearance in court on January the 7th. And as the leaves fall and the air chills, it's time to prepare for winter weather. KDOT says they're ready to treat roadways and encourage drivers to be ready for safe travel. Transportation officials remind drivers to keep a full tank of gas, extra blankets, gloves, water, and snacks in the vehicle. Officials stress the importance of wearing seatbelts, avoiding distracted driving, and giving snowplows, when that time comes, room to work. And it was a smooth trotting yesterday in Joplin for the 14th annual Turkey Trot 5K. Between 1,300 and 1,500 runners and walkers gathered downtown for what's become Joplin's favorite family Thanksgiving tradition. The certified course started and finished at the Schroeder Family Explorium, with participants enjoying chip timing, finisher medals, and post-race donuts and coffee, possibly the most important part there. And the Pittsburgh Turkey Trot kicked off its 4th year yesterday as well. Runners gathered in downtown Pittsburgh for the annual 5K fundraising race. This year's benefiting the Children's Advocacy Center. Participants received long-sleeve shirts, finisher medals, and post-race refreshments, while organizers presented awards to winners in multiple age categories. Well, it's a story that all started with a free smoker, and now, 16 years later, The gift of giving back continues in Miami. KOAM's Ty Parks is at the Church of Christ to check out the Thanksgiving tradition.
There was a need in the community 16 years ago. This is the 16th annual one of these. And my stepdad had given me a big smoker, and I decided to put it to work and started smoking 8 turkeys a year 16 years ago.
Prep work starts weeks ahead of Thanksgiving to create the perfect community Thanksgiving dinner. The potatoes are mashed and the turkey is smoked.
Well, we should be servants as people. We certainly should be servants as churches. And since it's done here in this church, if we can get them fed, maybe we can get them fed other ways.
Call to serve is seen throughout the church, an effort David passes down through the generations, including to his daughter.
The joy on their face is like no other. This means something way bigger than it does to us, and getting to see the smile on their face and them tell us how much we're helping them and their family is super cool.
Volunteers helping with the meal aren't just Miami residents. They come from various places to help fill the bellies of around 300 people.
It's a free dinner, and they're just good people here. I went to school with some of the people who are working here, and I've known them forever, and I thought I'd come up and celebrate Thanksgiving with them.
In Miami, Oklahoma, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Well, there's no sign of stopping for the Church of Christ. Members who have moved away make a point to come back to serve on Thanksgiving. All right, let's look at our top stories and to check your forecast here in the first 7 minutes of the KOAM Morning News. Still to come, a West Virginia National Guard member dies from Thanksgiving Day shooting in Washington, D.C. Plus, Stranger Things breaks Netflix. Literally, Volume 1 of Season 5 crashes the streaming service when it premiered Wednesday night. Details on that when we come back. Time now, 5:07. Topping Nation Watch this morning, sad news out of Washington, D.C. 2 days after the horrific attack on 2 National Guard members who were on duty there. One of them, 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom, has died from her injuries. She's now being called a hero. The second wounded Guard member, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, continues to fight for his life in the hospital. Investigators say they are probing every piece of the suspect's life in order to determine a motive. Attorney General Pam Bondi has threatened to seek the death penalty. CBS News' Kamal Afaliz has more from London.
Firefighters saluted as police escorted the body of Sarah Beckstrom to the medical examiner's office late Thursday. The 20-year-old Guard member died on Thanksgiving, 1 day after she and fellow West Virginia Guardsman Andrew Wolf were shot in an ambush-style attack in the nation's capital.
She's looking down at us right now.
President Trump announced the sad news Thursday while speaking with military officials. The White House says the president later spoke with Beckstrom's parents. Wolf remains in critical condition.
He's in very bad shape. He's fighting for his life.
The FBI says a terrorism investigation is underway on both coasts as authorities comb through evidence to determine why the suspect, identified as 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakanwal, drove from Washington State to Washington, D.C. with a loaded handgun. Multiple family members of the alleged shooter, his ties to San Diego, as well as overseas, are also being probed.
We will not stop until we interview anyone and everyone associated with the subject, the house, and every piece of his life.
The CIA says the suspected gunman traveled to America in 2021 after the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. He had previously worked with the intelligence agency overseas. A Department of Homeland Security official tells CBS News he was granted asylum earlier this year on humanitarian grounds. The Trump administration says it's now conducting a full-scale, rigorous re-examination of all green cards for every immigrant from what it says are nearly 20 countries of concern, including Afghanistan. Kamal Afzali, CBS News.
Now, late last night, President Trump announced on social media that he plans to, quote, permanently pause migration from all third world countries. Meanwhile, multiple law enforcement sources tell CBS News that a running theory of investigators is that the shooting suspect suffered from paranoia and other mental health challenges that indicated he believed authorities sought to deport him from the U.S. Well, still to come, toxic air cuts exercise benefits in half. The University College London finds long-term pollution exposure weakens the health gains from regular workouts. Plus, It's all right for now. It's a bit cold out there. Rain on the way later today, and we're still watching the wintry weather possibility Monday. Details when we come back. Well, a major streaming platform momentarily buckles under the success of a massive premiere, and your first look at UFC on Paramount Plus. Jared Hill has your Eye on Entertainment report from New York.
It looks like even Netflix is not safe from the upside down.
He's planning to end our world.
Volume 1 of the much-anticipated 5th season of Stranger Things appears to have crashed the streaming service when it premiered Wednesday evening. Netflix was only down for a few minutes for some users who've waited over 3 years to catch up with the gang after the events of Season 4. Hawkins is under military quarantine, and Eleven is hiding from the government. The story will wrap up in 2 more installments, ending early next year. Listen to this. I stand alone with fire inside. It's not Johnny Cash in this Coca-Cola ad. It's a tribute band singer hired for the commercial. Now the estate of the late country music legend is suing Coke, accusing the soda giant of pirating his distinctive voice. The estate claims the ad tricks customers into believing they're hearing Cash. CBS News has reached out to the Coca-Cola company for a statement and has not heard back. Paramount Plus will be the new home of Ultimate Fighting in 2026. The streaming platform dropped a new trailer on Thanksgiving. Catch UFC's biggest stars as they climb the ranks in weekly fight nights, plus see hit docuseries and training camp access. Paramount Skydance is the parent company of CBS News. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Certainly interesting with everything that's premiering. Interesting about that Johnny Cash in the Coke commercial, or the not Johnny Cash. There's a lot of impersonators out there, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. No, this is interesting. It's cold. That's not interesting at all. It's just a fact of life. We've got cold conditions as we get our day underway. We're going to have a complete look at your forecast, break down our rain chances this weekend, and what we're watching for Monday when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:19 now on this finally Friday in the 4 states. Again, for some, it doesn't really matter. Your finally Friday was days ago. But if you're out shopping this morning, which again on our different traffic cameras around the city, there's more and more cars starting to fill up out there, and we'll take another look at that in a moment. But first, let's talk about the weather side of things. Clouds are going to start increasing. Winds are going to start increasing out of the south for us today. Shouldn't be overly breezy just yet, but it will be breezy. It will be cloudy, and that will make it feel cooler outside. As we go later this evening, I think after, say 5, 6 o'clock, we'll start with some initially very isolated shower activity, but as we go later into the evening and overnight hours, showers and perhaps even a thunderstorm or two will begin to overspread the area, and this will stick with us as we head through the day Saturday. It's also going to be quite windy tonight into Saturday. Now you can see through the morning we have south winds, but it doesn't take long before that cold front starts to approach, and here it is. This honestly, I'd say from about 10 to 2 is going to be our better window if we're going to see thunderstorms. Nothing severe, by the way, but it's just if we're going to get any kind of thunderstorm activity, that'd probably be the window as that front itself pushes through. Now, the good news is, again, at this point, there's pretty good agreement from the computer data that any rain that's here should exit before temperatures drop below freezing. So we shouldn't have to worry about any wintry precipitation. What we will need to worry about is slick spots Saturday night into Sunday morning. All right, so a few clouds to start. Clouds start increasing through the morning. Low 30s by 8, mid 40s by 11 a.m. We'll eventually climb into the low to mid 50s for our highs today. Those south winds again occasionally gusting upwards of 20. Showers will begin to build and an increasing coverage by late evening and overnight. And you can see with the clouds again, it slows down that temperature drop. We'll be back into the upper 30s, low 40s tonight. South winds though gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. So slight change also if you, again, maybe you're staying with some relatives in the area, but you're going to head back heading into the weekend. We actually even get into this moderate category here for the travel disruptions in terms of the weather causing some impacts for us as we head into Saturday. Now we go to Monday, and again, from this particular computer's standpoint, it makes it look like we've got some big winter storm coming, and that's not the case. Not for us. Now, there are winter storm warnings to our north, and places in Iowa could receive several inches of snow. We're looking at best, a dusting if we see much of anything at all. So we could see some light flurries, but they may not even accumulate. But it could still lead to some slick spots as we head into our Monday. So we start going back to work and school. It's something else we want to watch. We'll go upper 40s for Saturday, still breezy as I mentioned. Winds gusting 30 miles an hour or so out of the northwest once the front pushes through. We're cold Sunday, low mid 30s. And yeah, that did turn out to be the case, at least for the Sunday and Monday. Those temperatures dropping into the low 30s for highs. Very cold start to the week. Maybe some snow showers there on our Monday. And otherwise, not bad the rest of next week. Temperatures somewhat seasonable, a little below average here and there, but not bad for the first week of December. Let's check your forecast. We're going to switch things over now to Health Watch, and topping Health Watch this morning, air pollution could make your workouts less effective. A University College of London study found that long-term exposure to toxic air can weaken the health benefits of regular exercise. The study found while moderate or vigorous exercise lowers the risk of death by 30%, if you live in an area with high air pollution, you may only get half the benefit. And that's our top medical story for today. We'll be right back after this. Right now at 5:30, Lucy's Mexican Restaurant continues its Thanksgiving tradition for the 8th year. And we've got calm conditions this morning, but winds increasing, clouds increasing, and then rain later tonight. Details in your forecast. Plus, Jacksonville families still struggle months after the government shutdown.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:26. I'm Chris Warner, and it is now Friday, November the 27th. Happy Friday. Again, I know many of you celebrated your Friday earlier this week or even last Friday. Been off, and many of you probably heading out to shop. My wife and our oldest, they're both going to brave the crowds this morning. So far, traffic hasn't been too bad, but we're keeping an eye on that for you because I know some stores opened at 5, some are opening at 6, and as I think we get closer to 6, it's going to get pretty chaotic out there. Thankfully, the weather cooperating for heading out for the shopping. It is cold, yes, and it's going to be breezy, yes, but we should be dry through the majority of the day and the majority of the time that anything that's on sale is still going to be on the shelves. Let's take a live look outside from downtown Pittsburgh. Still pretty quiet in downtown, but again, I know a lot of the local shops are going to start opening up here before too much longer, and I know that Broadway is going to fill up pretty quickly. 7th and Range line, we have a light in our parking lot, and it is extraordinarily inconveniently placed right now, so it's hard to point back this direction, but you can see the camera's not frozen. We just don't have any traffic moving right now, but you can see there's a few more cars out there. KDOT camera, US 69 400, and looking back to the southwest along 171, we've got this fella out. I don't think he's been shopping yet, but maybe he will be later. And MoDOT cameras around the metro area, long range line, still, as you can see, not too busy yet, but that is going to change. And if you are heading out for that shopping, you haven't started just yet, you want to grab your coat. It's cold. It's going to warm up a bit, so make sure in place, in addition to the gifts you're going to put in the car, make sure you got a place to put your coat. You may not need it later. 34 Joplin, 32 Pittsburgh. Temperatures around the region, we're pretty close to normal. In fact, many of us closer to normal today than we have been. We're in the low to mid 30s across the area. Independence and Iola both are the cooler spots at 30 degrees apiece. Clouds increase through the morning into the afternoon. We'll have south winds occasionally gusting to 20. Otherwise, again, we should be dry. It won't be until about 5, 6 o'clock that we'll start to see opportunities for initially isolated showers before they become more widespread across the region. We'll go mid-30s by 9, mostly cloudy by noon, upper 40s, low to mid-50s today. Rain building in later this evening, and those south winds, as I mentioned, occasionally gusting to 20. Now, those winds are really going to ramp up as we head overnight tonight into our Saturday. Our rain chances, of course, will also ramp up from tonight into Saturday. We'll go over those details. Talk about Monday. I know everybody's looking at Monday. We'll take a look at it with you in just a few more minutes. In this morning's top stories, Joplin families found a warm welcome at Lucy's Mexican Restaurant yesterday as the business served free Thanksgiving meals for the 8th year running. From 11 to 3, the restaurant welcomed everyone for dine-in or carry-out meals. The restaurant staff say the tradition keeps growing each year, and they typically distribute at least 500 free meals on Thanksgiving.
So my mom came up with the idea of just those individuals who just don't want to cook a big old meal, those who don't have anywhere to go, who have in town and families out of town, just they have somewhere to come and eat, and she just brought it upon herself to just cook.
And years past, Lucy's has also let DoorDash deliver Thanksgiving meals to the fire and police stations. And it's not too soon to start planning out a trip to some upcoming Christmas parades. KOAM's got a full list of these parades from all 4 states. Next ones on our list are Monday night in Pittsburgh and Carthage, and you can scan that QR code you see on the screen, or if you're a little older-fashioned, just go to our website online and you'll see that list at KOAMNewsNow.com. Lamar Fire Department is one of many agencies helping KOAM kick off our Toy Box campaign since 1988. We've been teaming up with you, our 4-state community, in one of the area's largest toy drives to benefit underprivileged children. They've got their Toy Box out where folks can drop off a new unwrapped toy for a local kiddo. Always a great program. And there are several ways you can help out this holiday season. It's another QR code for you. You see on your screen. If you scan that, find a list of toy drop-off locations, a way to make monetary donations. And once again this year, we'll have our Toy Box Tuesday telethons. The first one next week. Next week's first week of December. We'll be here for that. You can learn more by scanning that code that you saw just a moment ago, or of course go to KOAMNewsNow.com/toybox. And we want to thank all of you for the last 37 years of making a difference in our communities. Well, this Thanksgiving, some military communities are coming together to help their neighbors in need, especially those who were hit hard during the government shutdown. Kristen Bienvenides takes us to a part of Florida where that need is still very close to home.
At Feeding Northeast Florida Food Bank near Jacksonville, Frances Lewis is one of many volunteers boxing up goods. We spoke to her earlier this month as her own family struggled to put food on the table during the government shutdown. Her husband is a defense contractor for the U.S. Navy, which contributes over $9 billion to the local economy each year.
You feel like you failed as a parent because you're having to rely on your adult children to help out with stuff.
Today, the food bank is still dealing with long lines, and Lewis says, based on experience, it'll likely take families months to recover.
Truth be told, if you fall behind on your bills, generally it takes an average of 6 months to get caught up.
Now with the holiday season here, families who are already catching up may need help staying afloat.
How you doing this evening? You're good.
Across Jacksonville, some eateries and businesses, like their Jerome Brown Barbecue restaurant, expect to provide free meals for residents at least through the weekend.
Now, these are for Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes.
Anita Hyde, owner of the Pie Heaven Bakery Cafe, says she's giving out chicken pot pies and desserts for families struggling this Thanksgiving holiday, something she started doing in mid-October.
We're going to keep giving them chicken pot pie. It's the least we can do.
Providing a helping hand in their time of need. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
As a look at our top news stories still come on this half hour of the KOAM Morning News. Americans prepare to spend nearly $44 billion this week through Cyber Monday. Plus, a teenage farmer returns to the fields after a devastating bus crash. Lucas Bradshaw suffered a traumatic brain injury in May, but now helps with harvest season. We'll have the latest on that. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:33. We'll be right back. Topping Consumer Watch this morning. Today, as we've discussed, is Black Friday, one of the biggest shopping days of the year. Adobe Analytics expects that Americans will spend nearly $44 billion this week through Cyber Monday alone. That's a more than 6% jump over last year. Buy now, pay later options are also expected to be a big driver for online sales, with shoppers expected to use it for more than $760 million in purchases today, according to Adobe Analytics. That number is expected to cross the billion-dollar threshold on Cyber Monday. And several restaurant chains are offering Black Friday bargains today. Wendy's is selling small Frosties for 67 cents, capitalizing on the viral phrase. I didn't even catch it till then. Noodles & Company giving reward members $5 off their $25 order all weekend. Dave & Buster's slashing half off the price of all games all day. And one bidder could get this rare crystal and diamond Fabergé egg as an early holiday gift. The winter egg was crafted for Russia's ruling Romanov family before they were toppled during the country's 1917 revolution. It goes up for auction on Tuesday at Christie's in London and is expected to sell for more than $26 million. I don't write these, all right? That's what they put in there. That's it for Consumer Watch. We're going to take a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, for downtown, it's still calm out there. It will not last. And, of course, in the Joplin area, traffic slowly starting to pick up as folks start to head out to shop. We'll have a look at your forecast and the traffic when we come back. Well, as our families continue to grow, we get to know the kids in our communities who compete on the sports teams. That's the case for Ag Day's Clinton Griffiths, who, when he learned about a devastating accident in northern Indiana involving a school baseball team, his heart sank because he knew the people who were injured. Now, 6 months after that accident, Clinton shares the story of one farming family that's thankful to be together.
Harvest season is always hard. Long days, stressful weather, equipment challenges. But this year, none of that matters. Brad, Kelly, Caleb, and Lucas of New Carlisle, Indiana are working together.
We're just thankful we have something to harvest. If it wasn't for those friends and families in this community and beyond, we'd be up a creek.
May 8th, 2025. The JV baseball team loaded 2 minibuses for a game, Brad driving with Lucas and teammates in tow. Just a few miles up the road while stopped waiting on a light.
We learned about a bad crash involving a box truck and a pair of mini school buses. One student hurt so badly, they had to be airlifted to a regional hospital.
Brad's bus was struck from behind by a box truck going more than 70 miles per hour.
I happened to look up and think, oh my God, we're about to get hit. And all I remember was saying hit, and it was out.
The bus flipped to its side. Lucas was thrown to the pavement.
Got a call from a number I didn't recognize, missed it. The number called again, and someone just told me to pick it up. And the gentleman explained, he kept saying that, he goes, "You're the mom of number 39. And I kept saying, no. I said, no, that's Riley. And then it all started to click, and he explained that there had been an accident.
Lucas was airlifted to a nearby hospital. Doctors were able to get him stable, but the future was cloudy.
We never gave up hope. Hope was the one thing we did have.
A traumatic brain injury led to a medically induced coma, then swelling, a craniotomy, breathing and feeding tubes. This is how viewers first met Lucas, working with his 4-H animals the year COVID canceled the fair.
I miss Sean because we don't get to see our friends and have fun at the fair like we normally do.
That was also the year Luke planted his first crop of corn, even celebrating the accomplishment Indy 500 style.
I've always been around a farm, and that's just what I want to do.
As Luke fought for his life, the community pitched in, and the work at the farm, it just got done.
I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of behind the scenes that just happened.
Yeah. It was baseball season, but it was also planting season. Friends and family put in the crop. While Luke was down, Caleb was up, handling the work and the 4-H animals at the farm.
It was pretty hard. Got home late every day, but it was okay, doing it by myself.
We were at the county fair, and my sister texts and says, they've deemed Lucas awake.
Medically awake.
Medically awake.
Like to support Lucas.
That was early July, fair season without Luke. Others stepped in to show his livestock, and when it came time for the sale, Caleb stood tall as the community again rallied behind his brother.
$190.
Now that he was clinically considered awake, the next season was recovery. He was transferred to Grand Rapids, nearly 2 hours from the farm, to a rehab hospital called Mary Freebed.
When he got there, I mean, he just laid there. He couldn't do anything else. His eyes weren't even open. One eye was cracked, and that was it.
After 125 days in the hospital, on September 10th, Lucas took his next big step. With friends, family, staff, and teammates cheering him on, Luke walked out of the hospital he was wheeled into.
Well, they said it was going to be their #1 graduation, and they wish all theirs were going to be like that. So I knew it had to be special. And when I saw the whole baseball team, I was like, wow. I was happy.
As the fall baseball season passed, harvest season roared into full swing.
He's had a traumatic brain injury, so he has some damage and some things that he's got to work on to get better, which we have hope that he will get better. He's determined to do that, and he has huge goals, which I love goals. You know that. I love goals.
A drive for this family to reclaim the seasons they lost and get back to the fields they love, understanding that each day is a gift.
The amount of people that just happen to be in the right place at the right time truly is a miracle.
It's just a miracle that 7 players and 2 coaches, we're all walking today. We could have lost all of us. We're blessed that day. Everybody was blessed.
Those blessings pouring out, a teammate returning to the field.
It's always been a thing to do. And growing up, that's all there's been, so I pretty much need to find my way. If I want to do something, it's going to involve farming.
And no doubt he'll roll through this season and the next.
You can do it.
Ready to plant the gifts God so graciously spared.
Incredible story, and we've got our weather to discuss. Traffic starting to pick up a bit in the Joplin area. MoDOT cameras around the metro. It's 32nd and Hammond's looking west, and then I-44 at Range Line. This is looking back down, I believe, back up to the north, and you can still see not too much traffic there. But then we switch over. Actually, I'll switch over. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line. A few more cars out there starting to line up. These deals are getting going, and we've got Shannon Becker out covering these Black Friday deals. We're going to hear from him at 6 a.m. In the meantime, though, you also need to hear about this. We do have these clouds increasing across the area. We should be dry, bit breezy, though. South winds gusting upwards of 20. And then after 5, we'll start to initially with some fairly isolated showers. And as we go later into the evening and overnight, showers will pick up in coverage. Could have a thunderstorm or 2. No severe weather is expected, but we are looking at a very soggy Saturday out there with, again, very gusty winds tonight into tomorrow as well. As the front approaches, I think this will be our slightly better window for some more organized thunderstorms. Again, nothing severe, just I think we could see a few more of them as the front pushes through the area tomorrow afternoon. So I'd say between 10 and 2, we'll have a window for some thunderstorms out there. Nothing severe, as I wanted to emphasize. The good news is there's still pretty good agreement that the rain should be out of here before temperatures begin to drop behind that front. So we shouldn't have to worry about any kind of wintry precipitation tomorrow. But as we head into Sunday, with temperatures dropping behind that front, we could be dealing with some patchy black ice, slick spots, especially bridges, overpasses, so you'll need to be careful Sunday morning. For today, low 30s to start. Clouds will start increasing. We'll go mid-40s by 11 a.m. As we head into the afternoon, mid-upper 50s. Or sorry, that's wrong. You see the numbers. They're right. Low to mid-50s. All right. It's Friday, okay? And south winds gusting upwards of 20, and I think I probably ate a little too much yesterday, but you know when the food is good, you just got to have it, right? Showers increasing through the evening hours, and of course with the clouds, our temperature drop slows down again, back into the upper 30s, low 40s tonight, but south winds gusting upwards of 35. So with the rain building in on Saturday, our travel impacts, if you're heading back home by tomorrow, we even get into some locations into that moderate risk category for some heavier travel impacts as we head through Saturday with the rain and the potential for some thunderstorms. Now, I know everyone's still talking about Monday, and again, if you look at this, it makes it look like we are about to get hammered with snow. That is not the case. Now, up north, we've got winter storm warnings up in Iowa, parts of northern Missouri. That's where they're going to get the heavy snow. Anything we see is going to be very light across the region and scattered at best. So remember, on this future track, snow is possible in this area. It doesn't mean snow is across this entire area necessarily. So that's why we're not overly worried about accumulations. The thing we're concerned about is the bitterly cold temperatures and that potential for what's out there to freeze and make for more slick spots as we get our work week started. We head back to work school. So again, gusty winds tonight and tomorrow out of the south at 30, switching out northwest behind the front. We'll go cold Sunday, low to mid 30s, same on Monday. So we said that was a possibility for Monday, Tuesday. Looks like a likely scenario though for Sunday, Monday. only into the low 30s. So again, that's why we're concerned about that possibility for slick spots out there with the rain chances and those snow shower chances on Monday. We're talking about things that could certainly freeze over. So you want to be careful, make sure you're ready. And of course, heading back to work, school, make sure you are bundled up because we're starting in the low 20s, maybe even some upper teens, and only making the low 30s for the first few days and a couple of days of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We have got some sports for you this morning as well. In fact, the Pitt State women's basketball team is off to a strong start, winning 3 of their first 4 games. But they're playing without one of their key contributors, Macy Mays. And her story is one of resilience, overcoming injury, and an unexpected journey to where she is now.
Before becoming an emerging star on the court for Pitt State, Macy Mays was tearing it up on the diamond, destined to play collegiate softball.
I actually played club softball throughout high school, so I really was not expecting to play college basketball. I was actually expecting to play college softball. I love playing softball. My brother and my dad played college baseball, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play college softball too.
After committing to play softball at Seminole State, Mace's journey took an unexpected turn. During her senior season at El Dorado Springs, she was approached by a now former Gorillas assistant coach for a visit.
I was like, no, I'm gonna stick to college softball, but my dad's the one that encouraged me just to go on the visit, and I was still skeptical, but like I said, as soon as I stepped foot on here, I just kind of fell in love with the community and the program. I was like, you know what, I think I'm meant to be here. I come from a really small town, and just coming here, it kind of gave the small town feel, but the people in the community are also make it feel like home, and the girls and just this program in general. I feel like everybody knows everybody, and I love that aspect to Pittsburgh.
In her first season with Pitt State, Mays made an immediate impact, playing in 31 games for the Gorillas. And in her next year, she became a full-time starter on a Pitt State squad that made their first ever Final Four appearance.
It's always nice when your coaches see something in you that you might not see in yourself at first, but they constantly were just believing in me and my ability. I didn't play really AAU basketball at all, so just going from high school to college basketball, I was a little intimidated. Proving to myself that I could play college basketball and I can compete at this level was a really big deal for me and just my confidence moving forward.
She's a complete player and she really fits here. I think she's found the right program offensively and defensively where she didn't have to change her game to go into that program or adjust at all. So she was able to hit the ground running, and I get to sit here and just be a great coach that gets to watch a great player because she's making us that much better.
But during that Final Four run, Mays' season was cut short with a devastating knee injury in the Central Region semifinals.
In the moment, I knew something was really wrong, but I didn't know exactly what. And just when I got the news that no athlete wants to hear is like, you're done, especially in that moment, I just couldn't really wrap my head around like why it had to happen to me right in that moment. So it was never a good feeling, and I think my heart was broken. It was broken when it happened.
The Pitt State star is now 7 months post-surgery and is back in the gym with the team as she continues her rehab.
I am starting to get into the swing of things again. It's kind of slow, but I really am just thankful to kind of do the little things. I'm kind of going back to the fundamentals, which is kind of fun. I'm just happy to be back in the gym with my teammates and my coaches.
Since suffering the injury in March, Mays can't wait for the moment she gets to be back on the court with her teammates and play the sport she loves.
I think I've played that moment ever since it happened, but I think once I finally feel ready to play and I'm cleared, I'm just going to be ecstatic. I think my family will be ecstatic, and just to get back to what I love will be really exciting.
That's my dog right there. She's just so steady and consistent, and she's hard on herself, and I thought I was hard on myself, but she's just the type of kid you want to play with. She's always giving 100%. She's working her tail off, diving for loose balls. She's just one of my favorite teammates.
Looking back at her journey, Mays is embracing that everything happens for a reason and is trusting the plan God has for her.
I really like to have things go to plan, but I think throughout this and my recruiting journey, it's like things don't go to plan, and God's plan is way better than mine, because I could not imagine being here a couple of years ago, but now I can't not imagine being here. I'm honestly just super thankful that I'm here and I'm surrounded by all these great people.
There's no set timeline for her return, but Mays is eagerly awaiting the day she gets to don the crimson and gold on the court once again. That's it for sports. We'll be right back. Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year for Hollywood during the putting out blockbusters for the holiday season, Oscar contenders and as well. A pair of films going head to head this Thanksgiving weekend with Wicked for Good and Zootopia 2 vying for the top spot at the weekend box office, the holiday box office, really. All right, let's take a quick look with our forecast this morning. Again, we've got some mostly clear skies to start. Clouds will begin to increase as we head through the morning. We'll go low 30s to start our day, mid 40s by 11 a.m. Our highs today ultimately pushing the low to mid 50s, so a seasonable day, actually. Clouds will continue to increase and a bit breezy. South winds occasionally gusting upwards of 20. Then after about 5 o'clock this evening, initially fairly isolated showers begin to push into the region. They'll become more widespread as we go later into the evening and overnight. Our temperatures with the clouds, that drop does slow down again. We're back into the upper 30s, low 40s tonight. Winds really ramp up tonight and tomorrow, though. South winds gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour out there. And we could get a thunderstorm or two. And an emphasis again, no severe weather is expected, but we could get some rumbles of thunder tonight and into Saturday. Saturday, south winds gusting to 30. Behind the front, they're northwest winds gusting to 30. Highs into the upper 40s. Rain should stop before it gets cold, but slick spots more than likely as we head into Sunday morning. So be cautious as you're heading out Sunday morning. We're also cold, low mid 30s, maybe a few snow showers, nothing major on Monday, but more slick spots possible as well. Let's check your forecast. We got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.